Celebrities should just stay the hell away from politics. Most of them don't even know what they're talking about.
There's something about having heroes that are unattainable for you. That way they can stay in that magic spot. So I think we've lost magic and mystery and all these things.
Well, it certainly happens when you hear actors talk about politics. When actors become activists.
It's like Ricky Gervais said in that skit of his, he said, look, come up here, accept your little award and off.
Yeah.
I think, first of all, unless you have really studied stuff and really know about a subject fully, who the hell would want to listen to an actor or a musician talk about politics? You know what I mean? It's like, are we supposed to follow this? I mean, if we are, what if they lead you down the wrong road? And, and politically, I call myself a radical moderate. I'm like very strong in my opinions. But my opinions don't belong to any political party. And, I just look at what makes sense. And I think we need a common sense party in this country. That's actually what I think we need.
Yeah.
It's just figure it out. It's pretty easy to figure out what this is all about,
A non-ideologically captured party.
Yes.
Yeah, that just is like, okay, what do we need to do here? Instead of, it's us versus them.
Yes, I don't know if you've seen this. The View co-host Joy Behar, Sonny Hostin lost their mind on actor Billy Bob telling celebrity to shut up about politics. For a very long time, these people actually believe that people listen to their opinion when politics is concerned. It has happened to the Democrat Party over and over when they use this celebrity to campaign for them and the population don't listen. I don't know if they don't realize this by now. I'm going to show you the videos, but before I do this, please hit the videos and, if possible, share out.
On like at award shows, all of a sudden start talking about saving the Badgers and stuff. It's like you'll get like Ricky Gervais said, it's like get your little award and off,
Right.
I don't know anything about politics. I have no idea. I mean, and the stuff that I believe about it, I don't want to force it down somebody else's throat because I'm not an expert on that.
Please, what is controversial about this? They have less knowledge when these issues are concerned. They should not speak on topics they know nothing. And he is saying nothing but the truth. But people on The View don't like that idea because they spew that every single day. They have no knowledge on a topic, but they will rise up every time to talk about it.
You do not need to care what Bad Bunny thinks about politics. You don't need to care what Billie Eilish thinks about politics. Nothing that Mark Ruffalo or Nicki Minaj or LeBron James or Rainn Wilson or any other figure of note you care to name thinks or says about politics has to mean anything to you. You get to make up your own mind. But the second you say, why can't they just focus on their movies, or why can't they just focus on their music, or the even more famous and even more horribly phrased shut up and dribble, you are telling on yourself for having a room temperature IQ and fundamentally misunderstanding one of the greatest privileges that we have being Americans, or really being any citizen of the global, free, democratic world. Celebrities are celebrities, sure, but first and foremost, they are people. And in a country where we decided that people get to have a few unalienable rights, people get to say what they think about issues. And every time a person of note gets on stage or sends a tweet that is in any way more political than, hey, check out my movie this weekend, a chorus line of addle-minded haters jump out of their seats to go on social media or cable news and cry foul. And beyond just the wrongness of that, politically or morally, it is so staggeringly, overwhelmingly stupid. You get to make up your own mind. You get to choose who and what influences your decisions and your outlooks. You can even choose not to support or follow any individual, especially a celebrity, because of a thing they have said or done. That is your right. But they have the right to speak, and when you whine that they should focus on their day jobs, you're acting like an ill-mannered toddler who needs to be held back a year until he can pass Democracy 101.
All right. Yeah. Well, imagine bragging about how uninformed you are.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think he's saying more, it's like, I'm not an expert, so my opinion...
No,
like,
I don't know anything about politics. You're an American citizen. Don't you watch the news?
I would say
Don't you read the paper?
I do think the civic participation, our vote is a privilege that so many have for and fought for, that to be participating in our political structure, you need to inform yourself enough to vote. I don't think that every celebrity needs to scream from the mountaintop what their thoughts are, because I'd much rather see them march door to door and recruit people voting in your local government, helping people.
No, but they have an influence. I mean, Springsteen right now and Robert De Niro have big audiences.
No, they have.
And so does, wait a minute, so does John Voight and Kid Rock, okay?
No, they have audience.
All of them have the right to speak out.
They do. They have the right to
use your platform.
See, and the only people applauding them, though, are people that agree with them.
I actually do think you have an obligation. I think we are at a crisis point in this country. I think democracy is participatory. I think when you have a platform, that means you have an outsized voice. And when you have a platform, I think that you have a responsibility to speak up about what's going on in this country. In my view, silence is complicity.
And every minute,
we need every single ally to speak out.
So, from what Sonny Austin is saying here, you can clearly get it. This should tell you a lot about their base. Even if you have less knowledge because you're a celebrity, you should spew out misinfo in public. Their base will listen. Yeah. They strive off on ignorant. I don't know why someone say, if you have less knowledge on the topic, don't speak on. That is intelligent enough for you to understand. Yeah. Immediately you start talking on things you don't know. That is where you are passing out wrong information. Maybe they are used to in getting this crazy kind of information. Reason you see them always opposite on anything. You see the kind of videos they put out on TikTok. If you do research, what they are saying might be actually contrary to what they're talking about. Because they don't do research, they don't know exactly what they are talking about.
Closer to an autocracy in this country. We're about to lose it. I think that people don't seem to understand what's going on.
But if I may say, okay, A, Billy Bob Thornton's one of my favorite actors. I'm never going to say a bad word about him, starting with that. But B, a lot of this table criticized George Clooney when he wrote his Biden op-ed.
Flashback.
President Biden is fighting right now for his political future. Democratic National Committee Chair Jamie Harrison. I know, Harrison, of course, is still in Biden's corner, but he's losing more high-profile support. George Clooney wrote an op-ed piece in the New York Times claiming that after he saw Biden's condition at the recent fundraiser, he doesn't think he's up for the gig. George Clooney. Couldn't he tell him that in person, for God's sakes? He has to write an op-ed piece. And Obama's former speechwriter, Jon Favreau, claims he's not the only one. Watch.
Every single person I talked to at the fundraiser thought the same thing, except for the people working for Joe Biden, or at least they didn't say that. But I remember my wife, Emily, turned to me after the fundraiser and said, what are we going to do? I mean, and I said, well, there's a debate in a week. Either he'll do well in the debate and we'll think, well, he was just tired because he flew all the way back from Europe and that'll be that. Or he'll be like this at the debate.
Is boosting up the entire global economy right now. Why doesn't George Clooney mention that in his op-ed piece? I'm mad at George Clooney right now, even though we dated.
I think that oftentimes we give too much weight to what celebrities say when they wade into things. I care way more about, honestly, I call it slacktivism. If you get on social media, you do your post and you're like, I did my part because I have 1 million followers. No, go door to door, get involved in your community, get deeper on the issues. But I don't think we should bully people into saying you have to speak out.
It's a litmus test of the mobs, right?
Alisa is making sense, at least. But these people will not listen. They will continue to argue, like, because you have a following on social media, you need to speak up on things you know nothing. You know, even talking this about The View is something I usually don't even want, because they themselves, they don't understand a lot of topics, but they will continue to spew out. I think I'm going to end here as of the videos. You see at the end, that is for the white algorithm. You can always skip.
Is that there are people in this...
the sight of this man's
extra seats, they need to redistrict. They need...
important because before...
And the narrative in the media this Trump derangement narrative that you see in the media is so strong. And
this does not represent the black community.
It's illegal to live on the sidewalk.
Right. Spencer Pratt, who's running for mayor of Los Angeles,
who's doing a great job,
unable to laugh at him.
Inside, they started.
It'll be
more access to the leader of the free world.
This week, which was the state of Virginia, they gerrymandered the state. And I hate to sound like a 5-year-old, but Trump started it.
The win in yesterday's redistricting.
It's going to lose their congressional representation. How do you think?
until the First Lady brought them back with her surprise statement last week.
How does this benefit?
I'm an actor.
I'm an actor. Creative content.
Why are you not looking forward to the White House fight?
Well, it's kind of a gimmick.
I have 300.
Well, I said Democratic Socialist.
I know, but
So I have to say,